I also really wanted tacos, fish tacos. So that was basically the prompt that I gave ChatGPT. We want beaches and we want to go on a taco crawl.
This is Teresa Figures It Out. I'm finally doing all the things I've been putting off. Stop daydreaming and start doing with me. I'm Teresa. Every video I tackle something I've been meaning to try, learn, cook, or finish, because we only get one life. Come figure it out with me.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Teresa and this is Teresa Figures It Out if you are new here. On this episode, which is that I let ChatGPT design a whole day in my vacation. Actually, I let ChatGPT design many days in my vacation this time, but this one was a particular day where we, for spring break, had gone down to Southern California. And we went to Disneyland and California Adventure Park, and then we made our way up to Los Angeles, and we were in the Los Angeles area for a couple of days. On this particular day, we were going from, we were leaving Disneyland. Sniff, sniff. I'm still sad about that. We were leaving Disneyland and Anaheim and heading up to Los Angeles. Beaches are really important to my husband because he is a self-professed water boy. He's actually from Southern California. And I also really wanted tacos, fish tacos. So that was basically the prompt that I gave ChatGPT. I said that we're leaving Anaheim, we're going to Los Angeles, we want to see beaches, and we want to go on a taco crawl. That was what it designed for us. We ended up going to 4 beaches, 5 beaches? I don't know, whatever. We'll figure it out as I'm talking. We just went with all of its recommendations. We knew that the weather wasn't going to be very good because it was going to be like in the upper 60s, but my husband still really wanted to get in the water. We tried to make sure that the kids didn't get in the water until later in the afternoon because we didn't want them to be wet all day, but of course that didn't totally work out. And the first stop that we went to, they ended up getting in the water as it happens, but whatever. Anyway, so the prompt that I gave ChatGPT was that we are a family of 5, 2 adults and 3 kids, that we're going from Anaheim to Los Angeles, that we wanted to see iconic beaches and eat good tacos. From Anaheim, we were going to start at Huntington Beach, and that was only about a 15-minute drive from Anaheim. We actually ended up going to Huntington Beach and then south to Newport and then south to Laguna and then north to Long Beach and then north to Santa Monica and then to Los Angeles. So I guess that is 4 beaches. I can count. So we left Anaheim and headed to Huntington Beach, Surf City, USA. It's only about a 15-minute drive from where we were. Our hotel room was in Anaheim. Huntington Beach is Surf City, USA. It's famous for that, and it's also famous for its 10 miles of wide beach and consistent year-round surf, which is why it's Surf City, USA, and it definitely lived up to that for us. There were a ton of surfers there, and we were able to watch a lot of surfing, and I got to see a sandpiper on the water. That was really cool. And then we also walked the pier. Huntington Pier is one of the longest on the West Coast. I actually was getting kind of anxious when we were walking it because we had all this stuff to do in the day. I guess that is kind of a regret that we had all this stuff to do and it was hard to sit and enjoy each moment that it was. And honestly, I was going through a really pretty heavy post-Disney depression. That's a thing, right? I feel like that's a thing. That has to be an actual verifiable, a Disney hangover, a Disney depression. So I was kind of sad that day. To be honest. But anyway, okay. As I said, the kids got in the water and they got all wet, whatever they had to change and all that, and that was really stressful. Just as an aside, I was looking up some information about Huntington Beach, and there's apparently a 2-mile stretch that is closed right now because of an aggressive shark. We didn't see that. We were right next to the pier and there was tons of surfers and bodyboarders on each side. There's lots of people filming. There looked like maybe a competition that was going on. There was a drone over the water. I've never seen that before. I thought that was really cool. That way, I'm sure it happens all the time. We just don't live anywhere near where they're surfing anymore. We used to when we lived in Hawaii for a couple of years. So then when we walked on the pier too, there was, when we looked down into the water, somebody had an underwater camera that they were also filming. Yeah, so there was just a lot going on, and relatively, well, I guess it was like late morning. We had gotten a really late start. ChatGPT highly suggested that we started early, and we did not because we were exhausted from 2 days in Disney. So we slept in and we got a late start. But that meant that we got to have 2 different lunches, which made me excited because, I'm very food motivated. So we ended up doing an early lunch and a late lunch. So after we left Huntington Beach, we went straight to Normito's, which ChatGPT had said was the best hole-in-the-wall taco place on the entire itinerary. So we got there. They were really nice. It's a tiny place. I don't think there was any indoor seating. There was outdoor seating. There was parking. Lots of good sauces, which is always really important to us. Hot sauces and different types of like verde sauces and sauce roja and all that kind of stuff. My oldest daughter had fish tacos. I think I had the asada tacos. Everything was really good. I'm not going to be good at which one was better, which one wasn't, because I don't know, so many tacos. We had so many tacos over our 2 days in Los Angeles, and I would really have to have each one back to back to back. Each one was really good. I can tell you that I really liked my daughter's fish tacos at Normito's. They were really good. And I really liked the rice at Normito's. Some of the best Mexican rice I've ever had, which is saying a lot because it's like a filler to me normally, but I really liked it. So we got to have our early lunch at Normito's, which I called 11sies. That's for all of my fellow Lord of the Rings fans. And yeah, my husband really rolled his eyes at me at that one. I'm definitely the nerd in the family, although my kids are following me in the nerddom, I think, which is cool. I like that. So we had our 11sies, and then we left Normito's and we headed toward Newport Beach. We ended up doing a pretty quick stop at Newport Beach, unfortunately, because we had spent so much time at Huntington. It really was just a really beautiful, just like quintessential Southern California beach experience. So we went to Newport Beach. What I really liked about Newport Beach was that right next to the beach and then the parking was a big row of restaurants and shops and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. And there was also houses that went right up to the beach when you're driving, and you could look down their alleys and all you saw was ocean. I thought that was really beautiful. I'm sure they're all like $5 million houses. We were also all pretty moody by this point. This was day 4 of vacation, and there was a lot of attitude happening and a lot of feelings and moods, and it was hard. I think everybody was kind of struggling for that. Yeah, so just really quick stop at Newport Beach. Then we headed towards Laguna Beach, which was south. ChatGPT had said that this was going to be the most scenic part of our drive, and it definitely was. We made sure to pull into different parks and things like that so we could take pictures of the different coves and the cliffs. It was just really beautiful driving down there. I really enjoyed that part. We were, like I said, we were planning on getting the kids in the water later in the day, but if we had known about Laguna Beach, we probably would have planned our swimming around it because it was really the best beach for swimming. It's a much more narrow beach. It's more like cozier, I guess I would say. I don't know why, but I feel really overwhelmed by really wide beaches. I like the more narrow beaches. They just feel more secure or something. That doesn't make any sense, but that's how it feels to me. We also got free street parking really close because we pulled up to a meter. Oh, we loved the meters in Southern California. Like you can put coins in, or there was an app you can do, or you could just pay with your debit card. I like that so much better than when you have to park and then you have to do the different pay to park things and whatever. That just shows my age, I guess, because I was, it's coins. We didn't have any coins, of course, but if we had coins, we would have used the coins. And we pulled into a metered spot that had time left on it. So that was cool. We got free parking. We played around a little bit, but we really just didn't have a lot of time there. It was really beautiful though. I'd love to spend some more time in Laguna Beach. The next part of the ChatGPT design day was going to be a harder part So this was where ChatGPT said that we were going to be doing a transition drive, which would be a lot less scenic and inland. I will say though, leaving Laguna Beach and heading toward the inland area, you go through like this really pretty, I don't know if that's Laguna Hills or whatever that is, but that was really beautiful, that whole area. I like that a lot. And that drive also between Laguna Beach and Long Beach was an hour, maybe a little over an hour. And that's when we started to get really into Los Angeles area traffic, which was kind of like a rude awakening from our 2 days in Disney. Disney, still sad about it. I really miss it. I really didn't think I was going to be a Disney mom or Disney adult. I'm not really a Disney adult. Like I don't like dress up and stuff really, but well, that's not true. I have a Star Wars shirt. I do have a Star Wars shirt that I wear to Disney. That's true. Yeah, we really dig Disney. It's just really fun. It's so expensive, but it's really fun. Anyways, so we had a long drive to Long Beach. By the time we got there, it was really windy, super windy at Long Beach. And the kids played, there's a play structure. Oh, and we got free parking again. We pulled into the parking lot and this super nice person came up to us and handed us his parking pass that he had paid for the whole day. So we got free parking there too. It was lovely. The kids played on a play structure, and I was just looking at the water and looking at the beach, and I saw all these weird islands out in front of the beach. And so I looked it up, and so they're called Thumes Islands or Astronaut Islands. They were designed in 1965, actually by a former Disney designer. And they have like waterfalls and palm trees and all kinds of stuff, but they're actually there to hide the oil extraction that's going on. I thought that was kind of cool. From there, we went to our next lunch spot. So our late lunch spot. We couldn't go to Taco Nazo because it was too far away from where we were going, at least when I looked it was. So we ended up going to Holy Moly, which was also suggested. Those were the two suggestions from ChatGPT. Don't miss taco restaurants. Ended up going to Holy Moly. There were a lot of different locations of Holy Moly. The first one that we went to was actually closed. I don't know why, but there was another one just less than a mile away. So that was good. Holy Moly was really good. I highly suggest Holy Moly. We just got we weren't that hungry, unfortunately. So we just got a bunch of tacos to share. I really loved the refried beans there, and even though my daughter spilled the verde sauce all over my foot, what I did have of it, it was really delicious. And their fish tacos were super light. That's what I really remember about it. It wasn't heavy or anything like that, and it was just really delicious. So ChatGPT was right on for that. There was ChatGPT didn't mess up on anything really that whole day. It was all bangers. I would highly suggest having ChatGPT help you. They're fully design a vacation for you or a day of your vacation or partly. I did mention before that I have used ChatGPT in the past, but not quite this extensively. So what I usually do is start when only about a year ago, I think, was when I first started using ChatGPT to help me vacation plan. And essentially what I do is that I ask ChatGPT, I give it some prompts, and I ask ChatGPT, usually I'll just say, if I'm going to be in this place for one day, what do you suggest? Then I just kind of go from there and I build. I also just Google it and look up blogs to make sure that I am getting all the best things, and then I kind of make a compilation between all of those things. But I just didn't have time this time. I've just been so busy, so I basically went with whatever ChatGPT said. Let's do it. That day of vacation was done. Check. So from Holy Moly, we had another long drive. That was to the Santa Monica Pier, to Santa Monica Beach. That drive was over an hour. I think it was like an hour and 15 minutes. And by the time we got there, we felt really overwhelmed. It's more, I don't want to say more city-ish, but it is kind of more city-ish. When you pull up, it just doesn't seem like as car friendly if you don't know what you're doing and where the parking lots are and stuff. So we ended up being funneled into parking, which was $20. We were not pleased about that, but since we had basically not paid for parking for the whole day, it was, whatever. It is what it is. So we parked at the main parking lot, and this was the place where at least 2 of my kids and my husband really wanted to get in the water. We parked on one side of the pier, and then we walked on the pier for a little bit. It was really surreal seeing the Santa Monica Ferris wheel. Me and my daughter definitely had Chaperone in our heads, and I think we were singing it too. Santa Monica. We walked on the pier for a little bit, had some decent bathrooms, and there was a classic car show going on, so we stopped and looked at that for a while, and then we ended up on the other side, which was good because it was less windy on that side. 2 of my kids and my husband got in the water. My husband really had a fun time showing them kind of the basics of bodyboarding. We didn't have any boards or fins or anything like that, but just kind of how the waves feel. After we had been there for a little bit, the lifeguard came down and was trying to get them out of the water, which really freaked me out. And it turned out that there was a riptide. So they had to move like way down the beach, but they kept migrating back. And I don't know, we were there for maybe an hour and a half while they were swimming. The people next to us had walked away for a minute, and all of their belongings were swarmed by seagulls. I filmed it for a little while, but I did get up and shoo the seagulls off. I'm not a terrible person. I mean, you know what I mean. Then after that, they got out of the water, and we were going to have a really long drive ahead of us. I think initially it was supposed to be an hour and a half to go 16 miles. So we were going into Los Angeles. Our hotel was on the southeast side of Los Angeles, I think. It was 16 miles, maybe a little over 16 miles, and it was an hour and a half. I think it ended up taking us almost 2 hours because we just stopped at Trader Joe's, actually, the closest grocery store I could find right off the freeway, and everybody just got a sandwich or something for dinner because we were just so tired by that point. But after we left the beach, we walked underneath the pier, which was really beautiful, actually, seeing all the pylons. It was kind of wild hearing the rides and stuff on the top. They had one of those rides that looks like a dragon going back and forth. You could really hear it like going back and forth as we were going, which was just really wild. It was beautiful down there. And then we hopped in the car and just sat in Los Angeles traffic, which was just so overwhelming, actually. It wasn't good for my Disney hangover. And I don't know, Seattle traffic is bad, but it's not like that, which is funny to me. Man, I'm overwhelmed by this. We live in Seattle. But yeah, we were just dead stop. We just weren't going anywhere. Besides when we stopped to go to Trader Joe's, and everybody grabbed a snack for the hotel. By the time we got to our hotel, it was past dinner time. And ChatGPT was right. We should have started earlier. Although, I don't know. Is it worth it to sleep in? Maybe. It's hard to say. But it was a great ChatGPT AI design day. It really was. I mean, it just took a lot of the guesswork out of it. And we saw a lot and really got a good sense of all the beaches. And we only went to 2 taco places that time. The next day we had a day in Los Angeles. That'll be my next video likely. I'm also going to do some videos on both California Adventure Park and Disneyland, and also just prepping for the trip. So this will be the whole thing that I'm going to make out of all of these videos. But the next day we did a whole Los Angeles day that AI also designed. And we had more tacos that day, and we actually had tacos on the way out too when we went to the airport. Can't remember how many taco places we went to, but a lot. It was good, super yummy. They were all delicious. ChatGPT did not steer us wrong. I hope that you're having a really great day wherever you are in your week, that you come back and see me. Anyway, I'll see you later. Okay, bye-bye. See ya.